All right, so we have a model, which is our hands, for the three boundaries, plate boundaries for our unit. So this is gonna how you can remember the boundaries, what happens at the boundaries, and the landforms that are made. So here we go, or most landforms. There's a couple extra ones, so you'll have to study. Okay, so here we go. So if we have two plates that collide, continental versus continental, that is going to have the land fold on each other, and that is going to make mountains, okay? That is one boundary of a convergent, they collide. The other convergent boundary is going to be where one is going to subduct under, and it is because it's older and more dense. So this is going to cause a subduction zone. So if you look, there's going to be a subduction zone, which is always an oceanic crust. So the oceanic crust is going to sink down, and the continental crust is going to be here. So you can see that it makes a trench. So the V is the trench. So there's that deep ocean trench. On the continental crust, there's going to be volcanoes that form. Okay. The other convergent boundary is where there's oceanic crust versus oceanic crust. Again, the older, more dense crust is going to subduct under. So that's going to make a subduction zone. Again, it makes a deep ocean trench. You can see the trench right here. Now, the stuff that goes underneath, all of that rock, is going to melt, turn into magma, and then come back up through volcanic vents, and it's going to make volcanic island arcs. So that's convergent boundary. Divergent boundaries divide. If you have continental and continental crust that's being split apart, it is going to cause a rift valley, okay? Oceanic crust and oceanic crust that's being split apart, that is going to make new crust because magma comes up through the vents of the seafloor. It's going to make new crust, and it's going to make a mid-ocean ridge. Remember that we talked about the Mid-Atlantic Ridge that's splitting the earth, and it's the largest one. Also, there's a rift zone valley that is the Great African Rift Valley, okay? Now, the other one is transform boundaries. Transform boundaries are going to slide. And when they slide, that crust is having a lot of friction, and that friction causes earthquakes. So again, convergent boundaries collide. You have continental versus continental makes mountains. Oceanic versus continental. Oceanic's going to sink. Subduction zones, volcanoes. Oceanic versus oceanic, one's going to slide under, deep ocean trenches, volcanic island arcs. Divergent boundaries divide. Continental, rift zones. Oceanic is going to give you mid-ocean ridges. Transform boundaries slide. They are going to cause a lot of friction and earthquakes. Know this. See you later.